Extreme low-angle shot looking straight up the full height of Taipei 101 against a bright sky, the tower appearing to lean slightly as clouds race past. No text, photo-realistic. Hard cut to total stillness, the same tower, static, silent, camera locked off, holding a beat longer than expected, slow pushing through a glass viewing gallery toward a massive gold-painted steel sphere, suspended by thick cables in a dim mechanical void. Dramatic single spotlight, split composition, the steel sphere on one side, a familiar copper statue silhouette on the other for scale, both rendered at true relative size. Vertical drone shot looking straight down from the damper's floor to tiny cars on the street far below, genuine vertigo-inducing scale. Quick cut between a typhoon-lashed window and a tremor rippling across a desk. Same room, seconds apart. Aerial shot of Taiwan's coastline, a fine crack-like fault trace subtly visible beneath the terrain. Morning light. Close aerial pass directly over the tower's rooftop, camera continuing past it toward the fault line just beyond. Macro shot of wet sand vibrating and rippling on a lab shake table, water beating to the surface. Wide shot of the empty Taipei skyline before construction, low-rise rooftops stretching to green hills, no tall structures anywhere. Slow dissolve from Taipei's empty pre-construction skyline into a grainy 1970 stone shot of a different city skyline at dusk. Tone shift, signaling a historical detour ahead. A lone figure walking alone across a dim, empty office floor at night, blueprints under one arm, tension in the framing. Hard cut back to bright daylight, Taipei 101 tower filling the frame again, tone snapping back to the present. Static held shot of raw construction site soil, heat shimmer rising, camera not moving, letting the question sit. Every tall building sways, wind pushes it, gravity pulls it back. At 500 meters, that sway becomes a problem. People inside feel it, some get sick, windows can crack, elevators can jam. Most towers fight sway with sheer size, more steel, thicker walls. Taipei 101 needed something else. 216 kilometers/h. That's the wind speed engineers had to plan for. A Category 5 typhoon basically every single year. And beneath all of that, earthquakes. So the building couldn't just be strong. It had to absorb the shock. That's where the ball comes in. A 660-ton pendulum built to fight the building's own motion. But this idea didn't start in Taiwan. It started with a near catastrophe 30 years earlier. We'll come back to the physics. First, the story that made this technology possible. New York City, 1977. A new skyscraper opens, 59 stories, 7th tallest building on Earth. It stands on 4 giant stilts, not at the corners, at the center of each side. Underneath one corner, a small stone church kept in place by agreement. It was one of the boldest structural designs of its time. To keep it light, the building's steel skeleton weighed less than half of some older towers its size. And to fight the sway from all that lightness, it used something brand new. At the time, almost nobody had tried this at this scale. The world's first tuned mass damper inside a skyscraper. 1 year after opening, a phone call changed everything. A university student asked a simple question about the building's 4 columns. The building's own engineer sat down to check the math himself. What he found was worse than anyone expected. The joints holding the structure together had been bolted, not welded as designed. A cost-saving change made quietly during construction. In the right wind from the right angle, those joints could fail. And if the damper lost power in that same storm, the whole tower could come down. One engineer's calculations gave it roughly a 1 in 16 chance every single year. Hurricane season was weeks away. He had 2 choices: stay silent or risk his entire career. He chose to speak. Welders arrived that same week. They worked only at night. The building stayed open. Employees worked below with no idea what was happening above them. 200 joints, each one reinforced by hand. Then, mid-repair, a hurricane actually formed, heading toward the city. Evacuation plans were quietly prepared, just in case. At the last moment, the storm turned away. The repairs finished weeks later. Nobody outside the project ever knew. The full story stayed secret for almost 20 years. That near disaster is the reason tuned mass dampers exist in almost every super tall building today, including the one we started with. Here's the idea. When the tower sways one way, the ball swings the opposite way. Two forces, canceling each other out, it's called a tuned mass damper. This one reduces the building's sway by 40%. 5 meters across, bigger than a school bus. 41 layers of steel plate, welded together by hand. It took almost a year just to build the ball. Then came a new problem. It was too big to lift. No crane in Taiwan could carry it whole, so they didn't move a ball. They moved pieces, every piece carried up, then welded together floor by floor. 8 steel cables now hold the finished sphere. Each cable built from thousands of individual steel wires. Even if most of them failed, the rest could still hold the weight. 8 hydraulic dampers sit underneath it, like shock absorbers on a car. Every one of them has to move in perfect sync with the others. The ball can swing 5 meters in any direction. A ring of steel stops it from swinging any further. The whole system cost $4 million. The entire tower cost $8 billion, a tiny fraction of the budget, doing one of the most important jobs in the building. A pendulum can't save a building with a weak foundation. So first, engineers had to solve the ground itself. 380 piles, driven deep below the tower. Some went down 30 meters, deeper than a 10-story building is tall. Each pile reaches for solid rock, far below the soft soil on top. Steel cages lowered into every single shaft. Concrete pumped in from the bottom up. Pour it from the top instead and the pile can fail. 380 piles, each one tested before anything was built above it. Get even one of them wrong and the whole tower above it inherits that mistake. Only then could the tower begin to rise. 16 steel columns form the building's core, filled solid with concrete all the way to the 62nd floor. 8 more columns stand around the outside. Every 8th floor, steel braces lock the columns together. That's not decoration. That's the building's spine. The design borrows its shape from bamboo, segmented, flexible, strong under pressure. 8 sections stacked to form the tower. In Chinese culture, 8 means prosperity. This building was engineered and designed at the same time. Every structural decision here was shaped by the same lesson learned in New York decades earlier. Build light, but never assume the connections will hold. None of this matters if people can't actually use the building. 89 floors, someone still has to get to the top. So Taipei 101 needed the fastest elevators ever built at the time. 60 kilometers per hour, straight up, 37 seconds, 5th floor to the 89th. The cabin has to be pressurized, like an airplane. Without it, that speed would hurt people's ears badly. The same shaft that carries people also has to flex with the building. Rails built with tolerance for a tower that's designed to sway. Get that tolerance wrong and the fastest elevator in the world jams instead. It didn't jam. Visitors step out, 300 meters up, same height as the ball hanging just above them. 2004, the tower opens, the tallest building on Earth. For 6 years it holds that title. Then in 2008, a massive earthquake hits Sichuan, over 500 kilometers away. Taipei 101 still feels it. Visitors on the observation deck look up. The ball is moving, just as it was built to. 2013, Typhoon Solik. Wind gusts strong enough to flatten trees. The ball swings again. 2015, Typhoon Saudelar. One of the strongest storms to ever hit Taiwan. The building holds. The ball does its job. Nobody inside gets hurt. Since 2004, this system has been tested by real quakes and real typhoons. Again and again. It has never failed once. But the ball has a limit. 5 meters of swing. That's the maximum it was designed for. Push it further than that, and the mechanism itself becomes the danger. Remember New York. A damper only protects a building if it keeps working. So Taipei 101 keeps backup systems running quietly at all times. So far, in over 20 years, that limit has never been reached. But engineers still watch it. every single storm season. Because the day this system is truly needed, most hasn't necessarily happened yet. Taipei 101 isn't the last building to try this. Shanghai, Dubai, New York again, Chicago. Almost every supertall building now hides something like this ball inside it. Some use water instead of steel. Some use lead. The idea is always the same. Let the building move. Control how? One near disaster in New York in 1978 quietly changed how the whole world builds tall. Most of the people walking past these buildings have no idea any of this exists above them. That's kind of the point. Engineering aside, this building had a job to do. Put Taiwan on the map, literally. For 6 years, tourists came just to stand under the world's tallest building. The stock exchange moved in. So did some of Asia's biggest finance firms. A mall, an office tower, and a public monument, all in one structure. Losing the world's tallest title in 2010 didn't change much. People still come. The ball is still the main attraction. A piece of structural engineering turned into a tourist landmark. Not many safety systems get their own gift shop. This one does. A tower that's designed to move, not resist. A 660-ton ball doing the work of a much bigger structure. 380 piles reaching for rock nobody could see from the surface. 8 columns, 8 sections. One shape borrowed from a plant that bends instead of breaking. $4 million protecting a $8 billion tower. A lesson learned the hard way decades earlier in a city far from here. It's not the tallest building anymore, but it's still standing, exactly as designed. Not because the ground stopped shaking, because one steel ball learned to move with it.